It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. Taken from about the 12. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Bringing this crew out, it's someone known for his big arm since he entered the league back in 2016, Jacoby Brissett.
Spent the early years of his career bouncing between starter and backup as needed and played well, but never had a team fully commit to him as their guy. He does retain the toolbox that made him projectable as a starter. Big, strong player with a powerful arm, deceptively mobile, and tough to tackle. The best part about his game, leadership and being a great teammate.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9. Brissett got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
First down, Brissett. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Brissett now. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Into the air once once more. It's Brissett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that third down play. That brings up fourth down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. As Seattle's offense comes onto the field, we'll see a 10-year veteran under center. Guy who broke into the league as a starter back in 2013, Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Oh, he makes the catch off the tip by the safety. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Geno now to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10, Smith again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Geno. That's caught by Penny. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Myers' kick is good, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So already not the best to kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Brissett to throw on first. This complete to David Bell. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Here's Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Second and 11 at the 41. Throwing now is Geno. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Smith. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Cleveland offense making their way out. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the delay, here's Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Give Uchenna Nwosu the credit for the stuff.
Sometimes it's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You can wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 32-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Hunt will try going up the middle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Brissett. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him, and and try and cover him before he gets going.
Brissett, the pass hauled in. That's Bell. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Throwing again on second down. Brissett. This is caught. Touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have taken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Now Cade York for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Taken from about the 12. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now Geno on first down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Now Smith. And he finds Penny. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
The Smith throw caught here by Metcalf. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Smith. And this one too low.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Smith throwing again. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them
or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. A first down throw for Brissett. Steps away to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Brissett. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. On first down, it's Smith. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Myers' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Browns. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Penny. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Eluding the pressure right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And not a great punt here. Out of bounds in the air. They're going to say this one doesn't even get to the 40. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Chubb on the read option. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 52 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Brissett on first down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on second down. Brissett, slant route, complete to Bell. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Play action now. Brissett. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak, no running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he stopped immediately there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it. But probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Cade York on now for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. York able to send this one through, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw, Smith. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Smith now to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for the Browns TD. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. York now for the extra point. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Seahawks.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Smith. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. 3rd and 7 now. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Let's go, boy. Let's be smart. Let's go, man. Get him going.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, here's Smith. Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf. just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing again on second down. Smith. It's caught. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. 20, 10, 5. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. The York on now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Here we go. Let's dominate.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Smith. Man open, it's Goodwin. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw again on second down. Smith. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad. No gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To the air again, Smith. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
To throw again on 2nd down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Geno. Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Again, Smith. The quick slant caught. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw is Smith. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. One last throw here for Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquise Goodwin, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. Partner, a pretty solid, convincing win here in this one. We did have some excitement down to the very end, though. This game ended on a rare onside kick, but they didn't recover it.
And they were in great shape anyway, but going ahead and recovering, finishing things off, being part of that good hands team, it's an honor, but you want to make sure you do actually recover the ball.
Well, I'm just glad that it gave us a little something there at the end because this one was over beforehand.
You're right. You're exactly right. Down the stretch, last one. Yeah, that gives us a little something to bounce out of here on.